How's it going, everybody? Wix Nation, how are we doing? It's a Wix Christmas today. As I mentioned, I'm here to answer all of your Wix-related questions. Looks like our light's giving us some weird feedback. Let me do this. Let me throw those shades down. 1 second. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm here. Merry Christmas to everyone. Sorry, I just wanted to get the shades down. I was throwing some weird light feedback loop here through the webcam, which none of us like. So let's cut that right now. How's everyone doing today? We see we've got a couple people in the chat. Where is everyone tuning in from? Hello, I'll be answering chats throughout as well. Perfect. Looks like we've got a couple people in the chat. Is Wix getting better on SEO? Yes, Wix is absolutely getting better on SEO. Wix is getting very strong on SEO. Looks like we got some people from India, from Canada. By the way, if you didn't know, I had my Wix SEO complete guide video that just released not too long ago, last week actually. Looks like we've got Dayton, Ohio. We got Arizona. Nice. I just moved out of Arizona, down here in Charlotte now, but that's awesome to see. AZ repping. We've got Israel. We've got India. We've got Colombia, South Carolina. Hey, I'm right above you. I'm here in North Carolina. We've got Atlanta. Awesome. So guys, just to preface this live stream right now, just to give you some understanding, it's the holiday season. We're quickly approaching Christmas. I'm probably not going to have an opportunity to do this again prior to Christmas, just because I've got a busy next week and a half, 2 weeks until Christmas, family coming in town and everything. So I just wanted to make sure I gave everyone an opportunity. I really like to do this every couple of months, but particularly around this time of year before we head into the new year, I always like to do a live stream to answer any questions you guys have. So as far as the format goes for today, we are going to be very, very laid back. If that's not your style, I'm sorry. That's just how it's going to be. But if that is your style, that's awesome. And I'm going to do my best to kind of address all of your questions. I'm pretty flexible on time to an extent. So I want to make sure I get all of your questions addressed as best as I can, if I can get to all of them. And then we can kind of take it from there. So I already see a bunch of questions here in the chat. So I'm going to start going through a few of these. But like I said, if you guys can start by dropping a like down below, that would be appreciated. Hitting that like button. Let's get these live stream people in, and let's introduce new people into the community. And obviously, if you haven't already yet subscribed, I highly recommend you do so, and I appreciate it. All right, so looks like Max here has a question. Has Editor X sorted out the responsiveness issue? Yeah, Editor X is obviously the brand new editor. Wix is constantly working on improving this editor. And to my understanding, the issue they were having with the responsiveness is addressed and it's fixed. You may want to double check that and obviously go test it out. But to my understanding, yes. Next, we've got Indian Gentleman Store. When someone is clicking on my website and there's no loader and then suddenly another page appears, how can I add a loader to my website? Great question. So actually on mobile, you can actually add a mobile preloading screen. Wix has like a default option, which is kind of cool. So that way, while your website loads on mobile, it's got a little screen, whether that's with your logo or you can add an image or one of Wix's default. I do have a video. It is older. I'm going to have to update it. It is an older video, but I do have a video on the channel about adding a preloader to your Wix website. I also want to address to you guys on today's live stream that I'm here to answer your questions, and I want to answer your questions, but obviously the more technical questions are tough to explain just purely over me answering it verbally, if that makes sense. So I'll try my best to address any questions you have. But when it comes to technical questions, I'll give you probably more broad roundabout answers, to be honest with you, just because I can't physically just answer those without doing a lot of demonstration, going into a lot of detail. Just want to make sure we're clear on that. Looks like Dirty Dale. Is there any way for me to connect my Wix to my Facebook business platform? Yeah, Wix is I actually have a video on this, but Wix has got a very easy integration. If you go into your Wix dashboard and you go to settings, integrations, you can actually integrate Facebook business straight in there. So it makes it super clean and easy. Wix actually really enhanced that, which was nice. I apologize if I mispronounce anybody's names. It looks like Ann Kalika. Can we change currency on website, for example, US dollars to Canadian dollars? To my understanding, yes, you should be able to manage this from your online store settings, but also from your back-end business settings. It should really automatically do it based off of the location you put for your business, because when you fill out your business profile on Wix, there's a whole location part. Now, if you're an online business, obviously that's going to be a little bit different because you're not going to have a physical address, so it might not auto detect that. But definitely look into whatever you're using that on, but filling it out in your back end settings. Take a sip of water here. All around strong. Can I integrate my online training software login on Wix? It purely depends on where that online training software login is, but technically speaking, yes. You would have, just like you're pulling a third-party API, it'd be the same process. You'd be doing that same thing. So theoretically, yes. I don't know where your third-party training software login is, but wherever it is, you're going to want to look up the API information for that, and then you're going to have to integrate it. By the way, if you guys have projects, I'm personally not taking any new projects, but I've partnered up with my colleague. His name's Ben St. John. Awesome guy. He's been on Wix for a long time. And he is taking new coding projects. So if there's stuff that you guys are not able to accomplish on your own and you want to hire some outside help, just email me. My email's in the description below, and I'll connect you to Ben, because Ben is phenomenal at what he does. And he is a Wix wizard for sure. I know I like to think that I am, but when it comes to the complete coding side of Wix, Ben's your guy. Looks like Max Power. CyberSource cannot be incorporated into Wix, which sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I wanted to ask about how do we upload PDFs or Word documents on Wix. So this can actually be accomplished by going to your media manager in the editor, and you can actually upload all formats of different media, whether that's images, whether that's videos, whether that's PDFs, documents, music, audio, whatever that may be. If you go to your media manager, you can actually upload that stuff right there in the media manager, and then you can take it and drag it onto your website in whatever capacity that looks like, whether you're dragging it on for someone to click on and download, or whether you're dragging it on for someone to click on and view. Wix makes it pretty easy to do. If you go to add, you can actually add documents, you can add media in whatever capacity, like I said, video, audio, whatever that may be. Lori, VA, awesome. What is the best way to learn the new Editor X if you are not a web designer for an online course? So what is the best way to learn Editor X if you are not a web designer? Well, Lori, I'm going to tell you a story, because when I first started on Wix, I was by no means, literally no means, a web designer, a web developer, really had no direct interest in it even, to be honest with you. I was just interested in technology. And so when I first came onto the Wix platform, which is back in the days when Wix was like new, like very, very new. It's nowhere near what it is now, right? It was a completely different platform. I was trying to build a website, surprisingly enough, actually for this YouTube channel, because at the very start of this YouTube channel, this was a different type of YouTube channel. It's just technology tutorials, you know, showing people how to do certain things with technology or phone reviews, stuff like that. And so I wanted to build a website for the channel. I went through so many different web development platforms, and finally I landed on Wix just by chance. And I got on there, and I was overwhelmed because I had absolutely no idea where to start. And I'm assuming that's probably how you're feeling with Editor X. But what I did was, funny enough, is I just started experimenting. The beautiful thing about the Wix editor is that you have complete control. You have the ability to drag things, move things, delete things, add things. And at the end of the day, they make an undo and a redo button for a reason. You're not going to mess anything up to the point of screwing up an entire website and ruining all of your work. That's just not going to happen. So my biggest key to learning Editor X, if you're not a web designer, is to just start experimenting. Play around, get familiar with the buttons, try clicking things, and see what you're able to accomplish. And then for me, the second part of what I did to start learning the Wix platform, again, funny enough, is I actually started making these videos. By creating Wix training content, I realized that there was none out there, because trust me, I searched for it when I first got on the Wix platform, and there was nothing. I could not find any Wix training content. So that's when I decided to pioneer my own Wix training content to help people like yourself, like all of us others out there looking for that content. And what it did is it actually forced me to research Wix and get familiar with the different features. And it forced me to learn it, because in order for me to teach it, I had to learn it. And that was some of the best ways of going about, in my case, learning Wix as a whole. And I think the same could be applied for Editor X, because it's just like when I learned Wix to begin with. It's the same process with a new editor, right? So that's my recommendation for that. Perfect. Got some more, a lot of questions here. Awesome. Can you link a dynamic page to buttons, images, etc.? Yes, you can. In one of my tutorials, if you go back to my dynamic page tutorials on the channel, you can actually watch me do this. I think I even have one in a Building a Social Network in Wix series. If you go back and check that out, it's on there. I explain how to do that. Andrew, I have two websites that I'd like to have a lot of the same content, blogs, stores. Is there a way to add things to two sites at the same time? So Andrew, I'm going to advise you to not do this. I would not add things, duplicate content to both stores, both blogs at the same time. In Google's eyes, this is a big X. This is a big penalty. And they see duplicate content, and it sends up some red flags for them immediately. So I recommend you don't do that. And at the moment, technically speaking, there's not really a way for you to add things to both websites at the same time. The only thing I will tell you is in your media folder, you can create folders for each website, and you can actually take elements from different websites or different media from different websites that you own and use them across your other websites. So that's really the only thing that would correlate with that. But again, I don't recommend you do this and post duplicate content. Hello, why are some of my articles not appearing on Google? There could be several reasons for this, It could be your SEO. It could be Google hasn't indexed them yet. They haven't gained enough traction to really show up on Google. It takes time. Obviously, if you write a fantastic article, you want it to show up on Google, but unfortunately, a lot of times, unless you've actually built up a really strong website with a really strong Google presence, it usually doesn't happen overnight. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It goes for everything on Google, my videos included, YouTube, it's the same thing. It takes time. It builds up over time. So my answer to that is make sure your SEO on your blog post is up to snuff, but give it some time. As long as it's a quality piece of writing, right? So sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves too and say, okay, I think this is awesome, but is it really an awesome piece of work? Because if it is, people will read it, people will share it, people will post it. They'll do all these things that'll help drive up the social proof, which to Google is very, very good news. Really, it's the biggest news. So keep that in mind. Lori again, what is the optimum file size and dimensions of photos for loading? Well, Lori, here's what I could tell you. I don't know about optimum file size and dimensions, but here's what I can say. Obviously, if you use like a JPEG image over a PNG image, it loads quicker. I mean, that's kind of what it's for. JPEG is more for online websites. They just load quicker than PNGs. So when you're looking at file formats, that makes an impact. I would use JPEGs over PNGs. Let's see here. Is there a way to add several currencies and languages? So there is a multilingual feature on Wix. I have posted a video about that. Go check that out on my channel. And currencies I addressed above. So Max, Wix needs to add CyberSource integration into payments so CyberSource users can use Wix. I absolutely recommend you add this as a feature request on Wix. You can actually give feature requests and have people vote on them. The more people that vote on them, obviously, the more apparent that is to Wix that people want that. So I recommend you take that initiative and go do that so then Wix can actually look into doing this. Malam, hi, bro. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Petra, is it possible to add a user input star rating without anything else, such as username, submit button, and other things like that? I'm really only interested in the star rating function. So technically, this would be a technical question, but in a very short answer, yes, you can do this. You can accomplish this, and I'll see if I can work on a video. I'll add this to the queue to make a video for that to help you out. Matthias, can you, let's see, got to get back up here. Can you get a special homepage for members only? Yeah, so theoretically, the way you're going to do this is you're going to create a page, and that's going to be made a members only page, and that can be like your members homepage. So when they log in, you can have them directed back to that page. So that's kind of like their homepage, their home base. Perfect. Alan, hi. Any idea when Stripe will become an option for payment receipt on Wix in the UK? Unfortunately, I'm not sure. Not aware of that. Haven't heard anything on the front from Wix about that. I apologize. Malem, can we create a multi-vendor e-commerce store in Wix? Technically speaking, yes. What I will tell you, though, is there's a lot of sophisticated development involved. So if you're, new to website design and development, I highly recommend you partner up with a professional website developer. Like I said, if you want to be connected with Ben, this is something he can absolutely do, but you're going to want to make sure you have the professional on this, because there's even some security details you have to go through with multi-vendor platforms, not just on Wix, with any type of website whenever you build a multi-vendor platform. So make sure you get with a professional on that one, because that's very tricky and complex to build. Make a series on multi-vendor e-commerce. Yeah, I can see I'll see what I can do. That would be a very, very detailed and long series, and likely I would bring Ben on to help out and assist with that. Max, which is the best form app to use with Wix? The Wix powered one I'm using seems to have constant issues. Yeah, you know what I would tell you, Max, is truthfully, I would say the Wix form app is the best. You could also custom build forms using Corvid, and that, gives you the complete control. But Wix forms, I'm not sure what issues particular you're experiencing. I usually have very good experiences with Wix forms, and that's the one I would recommend. Head bun warmer. All right, I like it. Are you guys planning on keeping the regular Wix designer? Because I have been noticing significant glitches on the editor and slow responsiveness. There could be a lot of issues for this. Wix should be making updates at the time. To my knowledge, Wix is not getting rid of the classic editor. I have not heard anything on that front, and I don't foresee that being a thing, because right now you can either design in Editor X or you can design in the classic editor. The two don't link up. You can't switch over from classic editor to Editor X seamlessly. So they're two different editors. So there's so many websites on the classic editor, which means they're not going to get rid of that. right? At least anytime soon, to my knowledge. DJG mobile DJ service. Nice. Will this be available to watch at a later time? Yes, it'll just be uploaded after this live stream. Nekima, again, apologize if I'm mispronouncing names here. I have a very long multi-page form, 200 plus questions. Wow. What is the best way to auto-save the user's input without typing in individual IDs? Nikimi, I'm gonna have to actually get back to you on that one. That's a good question. I'm not quite sure how to answer your question there, and I don't want to give you a wrong answer. So let me think about that one, or at least get back to you after that, even if you want to email me after this. Dane Skurrich, building an analytics web app. Need to have functionality where a client can log in and only see their unique reports. Haven't been able to get the member area roles to get me there yet. Thoughts? This can absolutely be accomplished. Me and my team, when I was running specifically an agency, have built this many times over. There's certain data set settings that will allow you to only set data to be viewed by the logged in user. And that's what I would recommend you go through. And again, if you're having a lot of trouble, I just recommend you reaching out, whether it's to me or any other Wix expert, to help you build out that next portion, right? Getting you set on your path, just because, again, it can get sophisticated. Brian, is it possible to add augmented reality library to Wix? To my understanding, not at the moment. I could be wrong, but to be completely honest, I don't entirely know the answer to that. I've never actually had anyone ask that question, so I'm not entirely sure yet. eCoach channel, will the slide come soon in Editor X? Can you explain the slide? What do you mean by that? Elton Livingstone, how do I embed a store from another website I own into a Wix website? Where is the store you currently own? And secondly, if you don't mind me asking, what's the purpose of embedding a store from another website? Just want to get some clarity here. Let's see. Going back up. Rahul, hey mate, how are you? I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much. Elizabeth, loving your work, MPS. Much appreciated. Is it possible to customize Wix apps so they do exactly what I want them to do? Depends on the Wix app, and some of them have APIs open to Corvid, which gives you much more control over what happens in that Wix app. For instance, Wix stores, Wix bookings, Wix blogs. These are all apps that are available to Corvid, which give you custom ability to use, whether that's coding or front end coding, however you want to look at it, you do have that ability. You don't realize how much talking you do when you get on these live streams answering questions. I love it though. All right, Jennifer, Iowa girl. I get bogus contracts from my site almost daily. They fill out areas with nonsense words. There's an email filled in, maybe real. Why would people do this? Is this something I should worry about? Why would people do this? I couldn't answer that question, but unfortunately, it happens all the time. People are always filling out spam requests and stuff like that, and they're just spamming websites. Is this something I should worry about? I would just, typically speaking, you can tell when something is spam when someone fills out a form and it's just spammy. It doesn't look like, their grammar's wrong, anything like that. You can typically tell between spam and real. So should you worry about it? Not particularly. Just, be aware of what's spam, what's not, and you can usually tell. Okay. Mattia, is there a way we can add video on a product page? Yes. So actually in Wix stores, when you're adding a product, there's an option to add a product video. It's on the right-hand side on that sidebar when you're adding a product. Kanita, I currently use StreamYard and was wondering, where do I find the Rtmp code so I can stream directly to my website? I would look on StreamYard for that, to be completely honest. Devinish, how can I differentiate my members like they may be able to register as teachers or students? You're going to want to create member roles, and I have a video on this on my channel. It's actually somewhat recent. you're going to want to differentiate the member roles and assign pages and roles based off of what type of member role they are, teacher or student. Wix Rtmp, Kanita, you may want to reach out directly to Wix for this, or Wix support. They may be able to help you out with that. I'm personally not entirely sure. Viking Piper, hi, I cannot get custom logins on my store to work. I supply uniforms for different organizations. I need custom logins to work to only show their particular storefront. Okay, for this, let's see here. To get their custom storefront. Are you using the custom login code? Because that's what I would recommend you use. Use the custom login code. And if that's still not working, I would honestly reach out to Wix support, because it really should be. Now, if obviously Wix support would take it from there. So that's what I would do. Sorry I didn't answer that a little bit more fully. Eggweb Tut, could you do a video on how to make a Wix app? Explain how to make a Wix app. What type of app? Let me know. Happy to answer that, Petra. How can I make my homepage my login page like Insta and FB? Well, I mean, you can just require the homepage to be a members only page. That would be my only way to tell you that. And if it's members only, that means you have to be logged in order to access it. Video on Wix App, video on Wix App. Is it possible to do live streaming from an outside application like Zoom? Yes, if you go to Wix Events, you can actually now link in a Zoom live stream on Wix Events, which is really nice, makes it much cleaner, and if you have Zoom, obviously it makes it easier. Equispeak, is there an option to have language choice on a website, say German? Yes. If you go check out my multilingual video on my channel, just search multilingual, you can find it. Try to make a series on building a multi-vendor e-commerce store. I'll work on that. Can you do a video on how to build your own website builder similar to Wix? Technically speaking, there's not a way for you to accomplish this within Wix. Wix is the website builder itself. For you to try to make another one on Wix, you're just not going to want to do, because everything's hosted through Wix on Wix. If you really want to build your own website builder, you're going to want to do this completely scratch, custom off of Wix and on your own hosted server. When a button is clicked and that site goes to an anchor, the page scrolls from top to get to the anchor. Is there a way to make it jump directly to the anchor without scrolling? To my knowledge, Sid, unfortunately not. I'm not aware of this. This is just kind of Wix's default way of jumping to the anchor. Brian, thank you for answering. Glad I could help. Katie, would love to have multiple address shipping option. Explain a multiple address shipping option, because honestly, I'll be completely blunt, that confuses me a little bit, because if there's multiple addresses, which one is it getting shipped to? Jody, I'm a beginner, tried putting in a landing page and then all of the website spacing was totally messed up. Love what you do. Thank you. I'm glad I could help. Do you offer live beginner Q&A also? I can look into this. We'll definitely look into this. Nurse, where are we at? Nurse Trina. Trina, if you're a nurse, thank you for what you're doing, especially during this time. I still don't know how to add video to my Wix site. Can I add from Google Drive or from Loom? Yes, you have to add media in your media folder. It's in your Wix editor. It says media. And then what you can do is you can actually then go to add and then add video in your editor, and then just double click it and it'll have you pick a file or upload from YouTube, etc., or Vimeo. So that's how you add a video. eBush, how do you add something on the site to show that a page is loading? Again, if you go to my channel, I have a preloader video. It's kind of old. On mobile, Wix has a default for this if you go to the Wix mobile editor. Elizabeth, thank you for answering my question. Absolutely. Glad I could answer this. Yes, for malarism. Okay, hi. Really appreciate you taking time to answer the questions. I came here from watching the online series for my website building project for engineering. Thanks a lot. Glad I could help. Happy to do so. Elton, we have 2 services, a subscription service and an online store. We want to keep both stores we own, but add them to one website and cut down on clicks. Yeah, I don't blame you. Theoretically, you could do this. You just need, obviously, a way for people to access one page versus another page, right? That's a different route. So maybe adding 2 different pages and then clicking a button and requiring that page to be member login and the online store to be the online store. That would kind of be my recommendation. That's a very roundabout way. Kanita, glad I could answer that. Jessica, I've had a Wix website for years. Do I have Editor X? They are rolling Editor X out to everyone. You should have it by now. If you don't, reach out to Wix. That'd be my recommendation. Egg Web, a Wix app similar to Wix Forum. Again, my recommendation would just be to use Wix Forum and then use Corvid to actually customize it from there. What is your favorite to build, Wix sites or Editor X sites, gluten-free therapeutics? Good question. So Editor X is obviously new. It's exciting, but I'll be honest, I'm a classic type of guy. I kind of like the classic editor. I'm also most familiar with the classic editor. Yes, even the people that work with Wix every day don't entirely have Editor X mastered or completed yet. Now, obviously, did we have a bit of a head start? Yes. But it's still my preference to stay in the classic editor. That's kind of where I like to be. And I'm also most familiar and comfortable with it though too. So that adds an element. Let's see. No. Want to make sure I'm answering these questions. Brian P, is it possible to make a storefront through Wix, but have it generate a unique QR code that links directly to it? I would have to look into that. You might want to reach out to Wix about having a QR code that links directly to the storefront. You should be able to accomplish that. You could even probably go to a QR reader online and then add the link to your site, and it should be able to accomplish that. Let's see, golden years, local free delivery, how to set it up on my store settings. So if you go to your delivery settings on your store, there should be a pickup option. If there's not a delivery option, yeah, I don't think there is a local free delivery option. I'm going to have to look into that one and get back to you. You may even want to reach out to Wix on that because to my knowledge, I don't think a local free delivery is an option yet within Wix stores. So you're going to want to review that. Okay, I don't know how to read that particular name. Apologize, but love from Bangladesh. I appreciate it. You want a full SEO course for Wix? I think I could start doing that. I definitely see you definitely want that. Elizabeth Summerfield, do you know how I can embed a survey into a marketing email? Good question. Embed a survey into a marketing email. You can embed code, I believe, into Wix emails currently. So if you can find a way to break your survey into HTML code that can then be formulated into the survey in the email, that should be a good way for you to go about it. That would be my recommended way at the moment. Go to the mobile app for the loader. Sorry, I'm a beginner. So if you go to the mobile editor, if you go in your classic editor, it's at the top. It's a little mobile phone icon. You click on that and that'll take you to your mobile editor. And there'll be an option that you'll have different options for different things you can do within the mobile editor. And the loading screen is one of those. Katie, multiple shipping option. One person wants to order 3 products and ship several addresses. It would be great to have that option. I'm hopeful Wix will add it in the future. Wondering if you know. Unfortunately, I don't know, but what I will tell you, similar to what I mentioned to someone earlier, is you can actually have feature requests on Wix and just put your feature request, create the initiative, and get a whole lot of people to go like your feature requests. And the more people and more attraction it gets, obviously the more Elizabeth, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That was very nice of you, very kind. Thank you. So yeah, my recommendation, Katie, is just get a whole bunch of people to get behind you with the feature requests. And then Wix will actually take some initiative to looking into how they can implement it for you. So that way you can actually go ahead and get Wix to be interested in creating it. But they need the initiative, and they also need to see that there's an actual need for this and a want for it too. And if they see that, perfect. They'll look into it. Brian, thank you for answering all these questions, fam. So educational. More than happy to help. I appreciate you guys, asking the questions. That's what I'm here for. Like I said, I want to give back on this. It's the holiday season. It's the least I could do. You guys are supportive here on the channel. You watch the content, and I really, truly appreciate that. Really, really do. And Elizabeth, I'm just going to say this again. Thank you very much. That was very kind of you. It's much appreciated. Let's see here. Egg Web. Could you do a video on how to customize your Wix forum on Corvid? Oof, boy, let's not start using that word. I think we all want to get that word out of our vocabulary. On Corvid mode. Yeah, I actually am working with Wix right now directly on creating a little 5-video series on some of their Wix apps, which is exciting. So you'll get to see those very soon. Won't be till the start of the year, but you will get to see those very soon. So I'm excited for that. Wow. Katie, thank you. I've only requested it via customer service. Great idea. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, glad to help. I recommend you just go ahead and create the feature request so that way you can start getting people to build the initiative. I'm so proud of you guys. You've really, in a very good way, I mean this in a very good way, you've hammered me with questions today, and I love it. Like I said, that's why I'm here. If you guys have been enjoying this stream so far, obviously drop a like down below. It's much appreciated. Please drop a like down below if you haven't already. And also, again, a shout out to Elizabeth. Thank you very much for the generous donation. Thank you. Like I said, I really, really appreciate it. And I'm here for you guys. Obviously, I've been in your shoes before. A lot of you are looking to do certain things with Wix. And you also have to remember at times, I've been on this platform now, which I know is kind of insane, for, I think we're going on 9 years, 9 or 10 years now. We're going on 2021. Yeah, 9 years. I think 2012 is when I first got onto Wix. How do we do what Elizabeth did? Katie, first off, I really appreciate it. Down below in the chat, it looks like there's a little $sign. You can actually click on that, and it gives you the ability to leave a donation. Again, that by no means is that required by anybody here. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you asking. I don't want to come off in a particular way with that, but I just want to direct you to show you how you do it. Brian, 9 years. Yeah, it's been 9 years. I know it's pretty crazy. I'm sure a lot of people are like, 9 years. What were you, like 14 at the time? And my answer to that would be yes, actually. No, wrong. Yeah, just about 13, 14 years old. That's when I started making these videos. And so you guys have literally seen me go, for those of you that have been on the channel for this long, you guys have literally seen me go through my early teenage years, through junior high, through high school. And I just last week finished college. And I just moved out here to Charlotte, North Carolina. So you guys have really got to see me grow up on this channel while I've been helping you out here with Wix content, which is really, really cool. So I really appreciate the support. Let's see, inflatable boat fishing. Hey, what benefits does Wix Analytics over Google Analytics? I love Wix. I love what Wix has done with Wix Analytics, but in my personal professional opinion, it doesn't really have any particular benefits over Google Analytics. I mean, Google Analytics is the go-to platform for analytics. Wix is trying to build theirs up, which is really appreciated, but Google Analytics just has so much data they collect, and you're going to get more data and more understanding from Google Analytics at the moment than you would from Wix Analytics. Again, has nothing to do, there's nothing bad with Wix Analytics. It's just not as sophisticated and doesn't collect as much data as Google Analytics does. So that would be my personal opinion on that. Brian, LOL, wow. Yeah, I know. LOL, wow is right. Elizabeth, yeah, this guy needs support for his coffee habit. Hey, Elizabeth, you know me. You know I've got it here. I'm switching between water and my coffee. You know I've got it. Katie, wow, really, really appreciate it. I just saw that. Love the little sticker that came with it. Your donation is really appreciated. Much love, very much love. Like I said, wow, you guys are awesome. You really are. You wanted to support this feature, is not supported in my region. It's not a problem whatsoever. It's really not. Brian, I'm 40 and now learning this. Hey, first off, you're never too old to learn, right? Educating yourself is so, so important. And there's no reason at all that you can't learn this now. In fact, I applaud you for that. I'm not sure if you're doing it for a business, what you're learning it for particularly, but educating yourself is so important. And it's awesome to see that you're able to accomplish this. And guess what? We all start at the same place, right? We all start at the same place. And the same goes for every single person in this chat. So whether you're 85 and learning this, whether you're 10 and learning this, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you've got a goal you're trying to reach, or maybe you're just trying to challenge yourself and educate yourself. And to that, I applaud you. Alan, I really, really appreciate your donation. That was very, very generous. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being part of the channel. I appreciate you watching the content. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow, you guys are seriously awesome. I really was not expecting any of this. Thank you very much. This means a lot. This really does. Golden Years. This is my second channel, Golden Years. I'm subscribed from this channel too and try to help you out. I really appreciate it. Like I said, just you guys being here on the content, watching it, even on this live stream, it shows support. It really, truly does. And you guys are making a huge difference, not only in my life, but in the lives of in the people you are directly affecting, whether it's your business or service providing help to someone, or you're providing an intuitive new product and you're helping out people. And that's ultimately the goal, right? The goal is to be able to help people out. And that's what I'm trying to do here. And that's always been the goal of this channel, right? That's always been my initiative. Is I, at the time, wanted to learn Wix and wanted to learn how to use Wix. And so I figured the best way to pay it forward was when I learned something to then go ahead and teach other people and put that out there. Because one, it forced me to learn it, like I said earlier in the live stream. And two, it helps you guys. And there was a need for this. When I got onto Wix 9 years ago, there was no training content like this. So I wanted to pioneer it, and it's obviously made a huge impact to people out there, and I appreciate that. Mr. Zach, love from South Africa, love from Charlotte here. Love your teaching style. Keep it up. Absolutely. I appreciate that. I really do. Wow, you guys are awesome. Inflatable boat fishing. Do you have a video explaining how and where to add coding on each page for someone who knows nothing about coding? Yeah, so I've got a lot of different series. If you just type in my channel, Wix Code or Corvid, if you go to my channel and search for the content, you can find a bunch of videos where I use code directly on the page in the page code manager, and you'll be able to watch it from there. That'd be my recommendation for that. Trick Techno Minaz from Bangladesh. Yes. Elizabeth, woohoo. Alan, LOL. Yes. Again, Alan, very much appreciated. Your donation was very generous. I appreciate that. Jody Bernberg, age is not a barrier. I agree. No, it is not. It's absolutely not a barrier. I'd be lost without you. I appreciate that, Jody. I'm glad I'm able to help you out. Again, that's the goal here. Andrew, do you know, is Wix going to automate filtering with tags from a collection through a data set in the same way as you already can with drop-down boxes? Once again, my only answer to this is I don't actually have a direct knowledge of what Wix is doing in this regard, so I don't want to give you any incorrect answers. So I honestly don't know how to answer that. I would reach out to Wix directly if you're very, very curious on it. On a repeater, for example, yeah. Elizabeth, how can I find a Wix Geek friend to talk through my site developments with? I will give feedback in return. Elizabeth, my answer to you on that would be, go find people right in this community. I mean, there's so many people here on the channel, and obviously the channel is Wix Training Academy. So everyone here is here for a particular reason, and that particular reason is Wix training. So everyone on here either is starting on Wix, doesn't have a website yet, has a website on Wix, looking to add certain things or find out new tricks and tips to improve their website, or has had a website and is just still involved in the community. And so I would recommend just feeding through this community in general, whether you go to Wix Training Academy, my direct website, and go get active in the forum, or you get active in the comments here and you reach out and look for people to connect with and talk to. I'm sure anyone would love to get some feedback in return if you can talk. So anyone watching this live stream, if you've got a website, you want to connect with Elizabeth, you guys should connect here and you guys can exchange some website feedback for each other. That's awesome. That'd be fantastic. eBush, I finally found something to show loading, and apparently Wix doesn't have anything. Excuse me. My throat is dry from all the talking. Look at this. You guys know how to keep me talking. I love it. Wix doesn't have anything to show a page is still loading. So eBush, my answer to that is, like I said, on mobile, you can. On the mobile editor, there is a way to do this. On the traditional editor, I have a video on preloading, but again, I'll mention this. It is older, so it's not going to be as effective or efficient. I can tell you that right now. I got to update that video. It is an older video for sure, so I want to make sure I'm able to address that. So I'll actually add that as a video to my queue because it seems like that's a very popular topic here. Inflatable boat fishing, great, thanks. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys, do we have more questions? Again, I'm happy to answer more questions. I have probably about the next 13 minutes or so, and I'm all ears, happy to answer questions. Does anybody have any exciting holiday plans? I know that this year in particular is a little bit more challenging, especially with, grandparents, people with compromised immune system. I totally understand this year is going to be a little bit more challenging around the holidays, but hopefully everyone can still come together and enjoy the holiday season and really be together. That's my hope, at least. That's my hope. And like I said, I'm excited. For those of you guys that didn't know, I went to college in St. Louis, and about now in St. Louis, it'd be very cold and probably cloudy. And I'm here in Charlotte now, and I had to drop the shades because this weird glare was happening with the webcam. But it is sunny, and it is like 60 some odd degrees, and I couldn't be happier. After this live stream, I'm going to go on a walk to a local restaurant here, grab myself a bite to eat, just because I've done a lot of cooking at home this week, and I want to treat myself. And I love Mediterranean food. And since we're in a new place, I'm still trying to experiment with all the different restaurants around here. So I'm trying to, try new places. So I'm excited to do that. Looks like we got a couple more questions. Design Shed. Hi, Michael. We had some serious issues with setting up events with robust databases and repeaters. Do you see that as well? I personally, Design Shed, haven't seen any particular issues with that. Is there any, what issues were you experiencing? I'd like to ask some clarifying. Sid Beckman, I'm not familiar with Editor X. How can I edit my site in the new editor? I don't see an option to change. Yeah, so you cannot change from the classic editor over to Editor X. when you actually click on Wix, like create new website, it'll give you if you have access to Editor X yet. I'm pretty sure just about everybody does. If you don't, again, I recommend you check that out. But if you have Editor X access, when you press create a new website, it'll bring you to a split screen and it'll say, do you want to create with the traditional editor or Editor X? And then you would click Editor X and go down that path. Golden Years Gaming. I have not had one sale since I launched 1 month ago. How do I know the payment system works properly? I made a small purchase and it seems to work. Yeah, Golden Years, I mean, it happens. Likely if you made a purchase and it works, it does work. Like everything else, you just have to, you just got to draw traffic, right? You got to have a system set in place to generate traffic and convert that traffic into sales. So my recommendation is, you know, definitely go research the different, what did I want to say? Go research the different videos out there about converting traffic into sales, and then make sure your website is properly optimized for that, right? Mr. Izza's class. How do you start the idea of sharing Wix tutorials? Merry Christmas, dude. Love from Indonesia. Love your content too. Mr. Izza, really appreciate it. How do I start the idea of sharing Wix tutorials? I mentioned this a couple times throughout the stream, but in a very short form. It was my way back in 2012. Yeah. I started on Wix and I personally had no idea how to use the platform, and I tried looking for training content out there and I just seriously could not find any. So I figured, what better way, as the entrepreneurial individual I am, what better way than to pioneer that Wix training content and share it for others out there. That's how I got started. Merry Christmas to you too, and much love from Charlotte. Sally, is there a way to take off the $sign on the product page and use XXX.00 instead? You can probably mess with this. Sid, wow, thank you very, very much. That is very generous of you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yes, you can likely adjust this, Sally, by going to your store and then clicking settings and then managing like the layout, the format, and the design. And you may be able to adjust this. I don't know this for a fact. I don't know if you have complete control over taking the $sign away. I'm not sure, but you might be able to if you click settings and you go into the formatting and the design settings of your online store. You should be able to adjust this. Design Shed, we set up 4 filters for our events, and there was no way to reset the filters, so the page would go bonkers. Design Shed, I would honestly reach out to Wix directly about this. I'm not sure why that's the case. I've never experienced that. I've never actually had anyone else experience that either. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I would reach out to Wix directly. Brian, let's see here. For the holidays, we're driving to Colorado and planting some trees for the holidays to give back to our planet. Brian, that is awesome. I applaud you for that. Like we only have one planet, like we say. So I really, really applaud you. Not sure where you're driving from, how long the drive is, but Colorado is beautiful. Like I just mentioned, my girlfriend and I, my girlfriend and I both moved out to Charlotte, and we just got done with college, and her roommate is actually from Denver. Colorado is a beautiful place. Denver's a gorgeous area. So that's fantastic. Wow, you're driving from Houston. All right, that's actually my girlfriend's roommate actually just drove from Denver to Dallas. She now lives down in Dallas. And so that's a drive. That's definitely a drive. So even more so, I applaud you for that, because that is certainly a drive. Sid, once again, I want to give you a shout out. Thank you very much for your donation. That is very, very generous of you. Thank you. Not necessary, but really, really appreciated. You guys are seriously fantastic. Design Shed, can you do a tutorial to go over how to integrate autoresponders using Ascend Events membership? Yeah, you know, actually, I'm glad you brought this up. Yes, I will bring a tutorial to life regarding this, because I don't really have many tutorials, going over Ascend or going over Wix automations, but they are so powerful. Like, they are very, very powerful, and I highly recommend you utilize those. So I will create some content for this for you guys because I think that's important. And I think it's important that you guys know how to utilize those tools because they are available to you. And a lot of times people don't even really know some of these things are available. That's why I do videos every so often, 5 underrated Wix apps or 8 underrated Wix apps, because a lot of times people have no idea some of these even exist. So it's good to be able to understand what they are and how you can utilize them. Golden Years Gaming. I launched a giveaway and got 30 leads that signed up to my newsletter. One step ahead. Golden Years Gaming, what I could tell you is that as long as you are making progress every single day, that's a win. That is absolutely a win. So whether that's 30 leads, whether that was 1 lead, whether it's 1 small sale or 1 huge sale, it doesn't matter. If you are making progress and you are moving forward in your business every day, that is a win. And don't ever tell yourself otherwise, because it is. So celebrate that. Celebrate your milestones. Set yourself goals. When you hit them, celebrate. Do something fun for yourself, for your family, for your significant other, and go celebrate, whatever that may be. Words of the wise here. Not that I've got lots and lots of years on my life, but I've ran several businesses, and so I've picked up some tips along the way for sure. Sid, once again, thank you very much. No, says, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I enjoy the vibe. Happy Christmas, you guys. Thank you very much. And that goes out to everybody. Happy holidays. I know I titled this Wix Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. Not everyone does. That's totally fine. But happy holidays to everyone that does not celebrate Christmas. Katie, okay, I've been looking. How do I set up a feature to be voted on? Let me see if I could pull the link here for you, Katie. Just 1 second. Let me see. 1 second, guys. I want to figure this out for Katie. I want to get the direct link. No. Let's see. This one's on Corvid. Let's see here. I would try, Katie. I would try first going through this link. No worries, Katie. No worries. I would try first going through this link. That's the Corvid forum. But see what they can do for you over there. They may even redirect you over to a direct link that's connected purely to the Wix editor. But that's where I would go first. See what they say over there and just put it in there as a feature request. Let me know if you have any troubles with that, by the way. Just email me, comment on one of my videos, however you want to do it. Just let me know. I want to make sure I get you over the right link. Now, let's see. Mr. Dudley, just wondering where you went to college in St. Louis. My daughter is a freshman at St. Louis University. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. St. Louis University is a great school. I actually went to Lindenwood University. It was particularly in St. Charles, which, if you're familiar with the area, is right outside of St. Louis. That's where I went to school. That's where I literally just graduated from. Now, granted, we did not have an in-person graduation, unfortunately. I know there's complications around that. I would have liked one, but honestly, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, graduated, done, we're complete. And so that's the good news. Design Shed, thank you. Absolutely. Cheyenne, do you have any plans to make Wix Premium free? So I'm not personally Wix, and I have zero to do with any of those decisions that they make. And to my knowledge, probably not. Katie, sorry to slow you down. Again, no problem at all. Brian, I like the flames, man. Appreciate it. And Katie, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for being on today's live stream. Man, you guys are seriously awesome. I appreciate all of your support. I really do. I appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day. For some of you, a lot of time out of your day to be on this live stream. And I'm so happy I can be here answering some of your questions. Like I said, it's really, at the end of the day, it's my way of giving back. And I don't do these live streams all that often. So I'm very happy to make sure I address any and all questions. And for that matter, I was going to be on here for, please, if you have any more questions, go ahead. I'll extend my timeline a little bit. I'll give everyone about 10 more minutes. I'll give everyone about 10 more minutes to go ahead and ask me any questions they'd like. I'd like to address them. And then after those 10 minutes, we will probably go ahead and conclude. But again, my appreciation for you guys is so strong. You guys make all of this possible. Without you, there is no channel. And you guys keep me pushing forward. You really, truly do. I know a lot of people just say that, but you really do. Your support is incredible. So Design Shed. Oh, one more question. Just this morning, we saw that members to our site showed up on Google. What do we need to do to hide members? When you say members showed up on Google, do you mean your members only pages showed up on Google? Or do you mean, I just want to get some clarification there. Katie, seriously, thank you. Wasn't even aware of the Corvid forum. No worries at all. Now you are aware of the Corvid forum, and it will really help a lot of you out. Really, really will help a lot of you out because there's a lot of key information in there. And if you're trying to do anything related to Corvid, it can certainly expedite your process because there's a lot of bright people in that forum. A lot of bright people in that forum. Design Shed, members only. Yeah, so my only recommendation, Design Shed, is if you don't want your members only pages indexed in Google, is I would go to your Wix editor, your page manager, click those three little dots and hide the page and then publish it again. That would be my recommendation. That should take you out of the Google index because you're hiding the page. But outside of that, at the end of the day, I could understand why you don't want that page on Google. Theoretically, though, as long as it's a members only page, that means even if someone clicked on that page from Google, they're not going to be able to access it. They would have to be a member in order to access that page, which means they would either have to sign in or register. So that would be my recommendation there. Waleed, video call through Wix, including sharing screen. My recommendation for this is to create a Wix event and use Zoom. Everyone uses Zoom now, guys. We're in the Zoom generation, right? We are Zoom. You look at Zoom as a whole, and it went from popular to mega popular, right? And you look at their stock price, does the same thing. I'm also interested in stocks and investing. So that gives you guys another area of interest point for me. Design Shed. Okay, got it. Perfect. Alan, looking to recreate our site over time. Absolutely. To Editor X. Happy with the bulk of the online training available, but need shop and members facilities preferably ported over. Possible. So possible. I'm going to have to look into that one for Wix because my understanding is at the moment you can't, you literally, as you said, you have to rebuild your website in Editor X. You can't just port over your classic editor to Editor X, which means you likely can't port over all of the members and online store information from your classic editor to Editor X. I would reach out to Wix directly about that because that's obviously an important question that's got to be addressed. And maybe, just maybe, if it's that important to you, a lot of other people likely have the same concern or the same want. So if you get enough interest and enough interest, behind it, Wix may even say, okay, obviously this needs to be addressed and we have to create a link or a port for this to happen. So that'd be my recommendation. Head over to Wix directly and talk to them about that. Just go to their support and they should be able to direct you from that point. Brian P, Zoom generation. Is it ever? It is absolutely the Zoom generation. Like I said, I just finished college and my whole last semester of college was purely online. Well, technically it was purely online. It was a hybrid, but for the most part, at least for me, it was online. My roommate was the same way. He's actually finishing up this week. He's still there. But yeah, it's the same exact way. It's the Zoom generation for sure. Waleed, thanks a lot. Absolutely glad to help. Brian P, true. Absolutely. Design said, one other question for you. No problem at all, related to Waleed's question. We tried to set up a live streaming page behind a paywall and even used OSB to translate from Zoom events. It never worked. Have you seen this? Interesting. It never worked. I'm not sure. Let me just, as an alternate route here, obviously this might not work. Have you guys tried using Wix Video? Because Wix Video's got the full integration with the paywall already, with the ability to have members paid to be able to access your live stream, and you can live stream from Wix Video. So I'm not sure what you're trying to accomplish in the live stream, if you're doing a bunch of share screens, stuff like that. If that's the case, you might have a bit more of a complication using Wix Video, but if not, you should be able to use that exact same methodology that you just laid out. And if that had some problems with it, again, I would reach out to Wix directly. Yeah, you tried that too. Okay, was Wix Video just not a viable solution? No, congrats on finishing university. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Although university is great, happy to be done, for sure. On to focusing full-time on the business. That's where I like to be. That's what I like to do. Waleed, the problem with Zoom that customers have to enter a password, and it's difficult to teach the customers how to enter with a password. Okay, yes, you're right. You should be able to set up on Zoom, though, a meeting without password requirement. At least I have. You should be able to do that. You should be able to accomplish that. Let me know if that's not the case. But I know I've set up Zoom many times where a password is not required. As for Design Shed, not right now. And we even showed them the issues. They're aware, but no solutions yet. Yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm not sure what's going on that front. Hopefully they'll be back in touch with you here soon with some solutions. I mean, I can see what I can do on my part to try to expedite them a little bit. That's the best I could do, though. I'll try my best. Also, if you guys are enjoying the live stream, like I said, we're going to be wrapping it up here in a couple of minutes. Make sure to click that like button down below. And for everyone that has made a donation on this live stream, I really, truly appreciate it. Seriously, it means the world to me that not only are you guys here on the channel and supporting me in that regard, but you also supported me with a donation, and that's completely unnecessary, but so appreciative for that. So thank you guys for everyone that has done that. It means the world. It really does. So thank you. Design Shed, yes, please. Okay, yeah, like I said, I'll try to do what I can on my part there. Waleed, thank you. Absolutely, you're welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to go for about 2 more minutes here. So if you have any final questions, please go ahead and throw them in the chat there, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You support us to run our businesses. I try my best to, and I try to provide you all the tools necessary to accomplish that. That's my goal. So I appreciate you recognizing that, and I'm happy I can do that. That's why I try to do that. But yeah, while I'm giving everyone an opportunity to go ahead and write any last questions, I just appreciate you guys being on here. I appreciate all of the support you've shown on the channel. I'll have some more content up throughout next week. So I'll give you some more videos. I'll even try to work on a couple videos that we've kind of mentioned throughout today. I've added them up to the queue. But you guys are absolutely fantastic. You really are. And it's much appreciated what you guys do here. Looks like we got another question here. Hi, you had created 7 episodes with online classes which never concluded as a membership sign up, never worked properly. Hey Saksheen, I'm not quite sure what wasn't working properly. Do you mind explaining? Because if you follow the online course one, you should be able to have no issues there. Design Shed, that's very generous. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a very blessed and happy holiday season. Thank you. Thank you. Very generous donation of you. Thank you. Sid, do you know if Editor X has the same 100-page limitation? To my knowledge, I think Wix is actually working to cut this. To my knowledge, and Editor X, unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure if they do have that same 100-page limitation. I want to say they do not, because everything's just more responsive and it's cleaner, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. To be completely honest with you, if I'm being blunt with you guys, like I said, I originally started this channel to learn Wix myself. So there are sometimes certain things that I still learn along the way. And so I actually didn't even know for a long time, at least from the start, about Wix's 100-page limitation. That was news to me a while ago. And I was like, oh, wow, I've been on the platform for this many years and I didn't even know of that, mainly because I never really hit it. But it's funny how that works. Now, when it comes to dynamic pages, that's not the case with dynamic pages. So if you have a way to integrate dynamic pages into your website, you don't have a limitation there. It's with static pages. That 100-page limitation is with static pages. So if you can incorporate dynamic pages, you get a whole new world of flexibility in regards to page limitations. In fact, on dynamic pages, there is no limit. So definitely look into incorporating dynamic pages where you can. Obviously, sometimes it just doesn't apply and it just doesn't work. But if you can, look into it. Design Shed, once again, thank you very much for your generous donation. I appreciate that so very much. Sakeen, I'm still struggling with creating an online classroom. There's a lot that goes into that. I'm not sure what you're trying to accomplish in regards to your online classroom. Waleed, it would be a pleasure to teach us how to create an LMS learning management system by using Wix. Yeah, I can definitely look into this. This is definitely a series I was certainly interested in creating. I tried to kind of go about that with how to build an online course in Wix, but it wasn't directly a learning management system. I showed you guys more of the framework of building the online course structure for members to come in and get in. So that's kind of where I was with that. Do you know if data, Sakeen, when one signed in with his ID and password, he doesn't have to log in again and can be taken to the course page and not to the other course page. Yeah, I'm going to have to create a video for that, Sakeen, to kind of show you a little bit more. Design Shed, do you know if data sets can be archived? If data sets can be archived. I'm going to have to follow up with you on that, Design Shed. If you want, send me an email. Again, my email's in the description. Send me an email on that. I'd like to follow up with you on that because off the top of my head, it's not ringing any bells. Because obviously they can be deleted, but archived, I'd have to look into that. Waleed, Andrew, take a look at the Wix Challenges app. Yes. Yes. Waleed, definitely take a look. Andrew, great suggestion. Great suggestion. Take a look at the Wix Challenges app. It's, once again, a newer app that most people don't actually know about. And so you have the ability to learn these new things when you're listening to, people within this community. Like Andrew, great suggestion there. So thank you for suggesting that. I like that. Good work, Andrew. Design Shed. Yep, absolutely. Andrew, thank you very much. Perfect. I'll give you guys one more minute to go ahead and ask any questions you may have. And then I'm going to do a little wrap up and I'm going to introduce a little friend for the wrap up. Do you know how to get the RSS links from the web pages on my Wix website? RSS link, hold up. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Adeto, this link might be able to help you out. Sakeen, thank you. You're such a knowledge bank. Proud of you, dear. Thank you very much. Andrew, smile up here for me too, to you guys. Sakeen, proud of you. I appreciate that. Very much appreciated. Elizabeth, Waleed, Sakeen, we're doing similar things. Let me know if you want to get our heads together and help each other. Great connection there, guys. Waleed, Sakeen, Elizabeth, she's looking for an opportunity to help provide some value by providing feedback to you guys in return the same thing. So that would be a great connection there. No, is it possible to allow more than one type of user to log in? For example, student, parent, and teacher. Yes, you need to create member roles and permissions. I'll have to create a video to show you exactly how you can allow each of those different user types to actually log in, right? Because that's what you're trying to accomplish. So I'll have to create a video for that. Andrew Elizabeth, I have a fully integrated member site with LMS built in Wix if you need it. Andrew Elizabeth, make that connection, guys. That's awesome. However, you guys have to exchange details. Not sure how you want to do it, but that is a fantastic connection there. Brian P., thank you for answering all these questions. Keep up the good work. Perfect. Guys, for my wrap up, I got to introduce my little friend. Monty, come here. Come here, buddy. All right, guys, to wrap up today, this is my new little guy, Mr. Monte Carlo, and I figure no better way to wrap up than in a new place, new apartment, new city, new dog, new everything, than showing you guys my little friend here, Monte Carlo. I appreciate all of you for being on today's stream. He's a tired little guy right now. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate all of you guys for being on today's stream. You guys are really fantastic. And you show so much support. If you guys, Monte Carlo, here he is. Buddy, everyone wants to say hello to you. Say hi, Monty. Say hi. He's got the hiccups. He's tired and he's got the hiccups. But yes, thank you guys to everyone that watched. If you guys found value in this, make sure you drop a like down below on the stream. To everyone that made a donation here in today's live stream, seriously, I really, really appreciate it. It was very, very kind of you guys, and so much love from me to you guys. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. To those of you that don't, happy holidays. Enjoy the holiday season. Remember to take that time, be off technology around Christmas and spend that quality time with your family and your friends, just because we got to cherish that time with one another. So you guys are fantastic. I'll have some content out next week. For everyone that tuned in today and watched, thank you very much. I appreciate all of your kind words right here. You guys love the dog. Woof, woof. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hi, Monty. He says hello. Signed in too late. Sorry, John or Johan. I'm sorry. Feel free to email me a question. Thanks. Merry Christmas to all. Elizabeth, great live stream. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. This is MPS here with Wix Training Academy. Of course, if you haven't already subscribed either, make sure you click that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. And once again, I can't appreciate it enough for everyone that made a donation during today's video. Seriously, it was awesome. I appreciate you guys so much for that. And I will catch you all on our next video, which will be up next week, I promise, before Christmas. So you have a little bit more content before heading into Christmas. And then Christmas week, I'll probably be a little bit more hands-off, spending time with family. But get ready for the start of the year. We are coming in strong, a lot of content and some actual content with Wix by my side. Just a little hint. So I'm excited for that. Thank you guys all so much again. Me and Monty are signing off. Say bye, Monty. Bye, guys. Thank you.